Okay, this is a video that's going to discuss methods that have return values. This is done on day 2 of this week, and so this is going to explain how methods can return values to other methods. And so it's just going to be building on what we've already learned, just one more thing. So we've learned how to do methods with method calls. We learned how to pass one argument with a method call, and then we passed 2 arguments or more with a method call. And now we're going to just add on to this. It's going to be the same process, except for now we're going to add one step of process, and that's going to be to return data to another method. So here's how it works. If we go through this, we of course start at the main method, and then we see that we are going to go into, line 16 is going to declare num1 as a variable, and it's going to assign it a 3, and then it's going to declare num2 as a variable, and it's going to assign that a 7, and then it's going to assign or declare another variable called new num, only this one is not going to be assigned anything yet, so this is just a declaration only. We go to the next line, and this is where things are critical, because this right now is a review of what we've already done, except it's got another catch to it. So in here, this line contains a method declaration, method call, sorry. This is the method call. And so new num is assigned the method call. New num is assigned. This is something that's been added. So before, the entire line was a method call. Now the method call is being assigned to a variable. And so when you come to this line, the compiler is first going to deal with the method call, and whatever the result of the method call is going to be assigned to new num. So we're going to get the method call, and we're going to treat this just like any other method call that's passing arguments has been dealt with in the past. So we're going to call num1, which is right here, and it's going to return the value 3. We're going to call num2 right here. We're going to call num2 memory location, and it's going to return the 7. And then the method call is going to activate this method because it's looking for calculator, and they find calculator right here. And what makes it a method call is it's got the parentheses and the semicolon, and what makes this a method up here is it's got the parentheses. So the name of the method is calculator with empty parentheses. So now this method has been waked up by the method call, just like you get a call in the morning to wake up. This is now awake, and it's going to start doing its thing. The first thing it does is it takes these are called parameters in here. These, of course, are called arguments right here. These here are actually going to be considered parameters. Now, this is a data type right here, and this is a variable name. Whenever we have a data type and a variable name, what did we do? We made memory locations. So these require memory locations. So this is going to go over here and declare or reserve a memory location and name it N1. this declaration will declare a memory location as N2. So now these spots are reserved. And so what we like to do is we like to take these are called parameter variables. So these are called parameter variables. And what I like to do is I'd like to liken these to a softball glove or mitt. The purpose of a softball glove or a mitt is to receive something that has been thrown. Without it, it's going to hurt. In football, something being thrown to us is really, we call it being passed. And so if you remember, of course, that we've used this term many times, these arguments are passed to this method. And so the purpose of these memory locations is to catch what has been passed. And so these memory locations would be gloves or mitts. And the ball that's being thrown is the values or the arguments that are being passed. So these are the balls, or these are the items being thrown, the football, the softball. These are in this case, the softballs, and these are the mitts or gloves that are going to be receiving the pass. So this 3 and the 7 are passed, and it becomes a 3 in the N1 because it goes to the first one. The first argument goes to the first parameter. Second argument goes to the second parameter. And so these memory allocations now have 3s and 7s. Now, this method can call these local variables and get the 3 and the 7. They couldn't call num1 and num2 because these variables are local to the main method and they're not local to the calculator method. So these are hidden from the calculator method. So therefore, this method call passed these values to the other method, which we've already discussed all this, so nothing new yet. Now we have another variable that's being declared, and that's sum, and so it is there, and it is going to call N1 and get a 3. It returns a 3 to it. N2 calls this memory location and it gets a 7. Notice it didn't call down here because these are not local. These are long distance, and you can't make long distance calls. So 3 plus 7 is 10. 10 is assigned to sum. The next line down is going to declare the variable difference, and it's going to place, or it's going to call N1 again and N2 again, and it's going to do the calculation. It's get -4, and then -4 is assigned to difference. And then the next line down, now we have declared another variable called product, and the product is assigned a calculation. So this calls sum, and so sum is right here, and then sum returns the 10 to it. Now the difference variable is called right here, and it returns a -4, does the calculation, and then assigns the result of that to product, so it's -40. Now here's a statement we haven't learned yet, but you should be able to tell basically what's going on even without being taught. This is returning product. Well, what's product? Product is the name of a variable. So this is a variable call. it's calling product, asking, hey, what is your value? Product returns a negative 40. Now, so if you just step out of Java and think return negative 40, okay, I know what return means. Return to what? You're returning what? You're returning negative 40, and what are you returning it to? You return to where it started. Where did this method start? It started with its method call. So this method call, it's returning the negative 40 to the method call. The value of this method is negative 40. And by the way, something I didn't mention is that this is returning, is this an int, a double, or a string? It's returning, watch this, an int. Remember, we have void here. Main method doesn't return anything because it's nothing. You can return doubles, you can return strings, and ints. This is returning an int. It returns it to its method call. Just end of a method, you return to the method call. So now this line is called new num is assigned negative 40. And that's really, that takes care of the new stuff. The new stuff is that we're dealing really starts here at the return statement. This is a return statement, and it's returning negative 40. Where does it return it to? To the method call. The other thing that was new is that the method call is not on the line by itself, but it's actually assigned to a variable. So it's not the entire line, and we work from, the compiler is going to work from right to left, take care of the method call first, and then assign it to the new num. And now we have what's we're already used to. You have a literal string, then you have a variable call. It calls new num, it returns a negative 40, and then the print method is going to then display our new number, negative 40. And that's how that works. Now you now should be able to do the back of your page, which is down here. You should be able to do this. Have fun.